So we got some conversation here. Spotify, the biggest scam in the world? Huh? The headline is actually not as good as the actual meat and potatoes of this that I've been told. Here's why Dani Filth thinks Spotify are the biggest criminals in the world. Again, time old tale, Spotify, don't pay enough. They're ass. They even introduced that new Discovery program, which is literally a fucking scam because all it does is make it so every artist signs up. And then the way I have to explain what this does, your songs get promoted more in the algorithm, like your song being played next every time to some songs. I wonder which band have signed up for that one. But you get basically your royalties, like a lot of your royalties taken away. So like 30%, 50%, like it's a lot. But Spotify will promote it more. And all they did by doing this is make it so it's now a standard because everyone's gonna want that boost. However, if everyone's using the algorithm boost, there's only a certain amount of slots and space for songs to get boosted. So all that's going to happen is every band is going to take on the algorithm boost. And if you're not getting boosted, then you're just in the shitter and you won't get seen by anybody. But now every band, because everyone's doing it, it's almost as if it has no effect. Because no one, if that's the thing, you guys know the idea. If everyone's special, then no one is special. But everyone's then getting their royalties 30% fucking cut. Thank you, Spotify, you piece of great. However, as an independent artist that doesn't have a label and management, I think Spotify pays fine. I know that that's probably not what you guys were expecting out of this entire rant I just started with there. As an independent artist, Spotify pays just fine. If fine, they could pay more. If you're signed to a label and you have a deal, you're f***ed. So a lot of these people that complain, obviously, are signed to deals where they sign shitty deals, a lot of them, where the label didn't even include streaming revenue into their thing. Or they did. They say, we get all the streaming revenue, but you get your split of physical CDs and tours and merch, et cetera, all that bullshit. But a lot of these legacy bands didn't sign proper deals that had streaming on their side. And then, of course, labels take a good cut of streaming in general. Maybe distribution takes a good cut. Maybe publishing takes a good cut. Again, everyone just has their hands in it. And then when you're finished, you have no fucking money left from the already not getting a lot of money from Spotify. So it just ends up everyone blaming Spotify. All right, now let's read what Dani said, because I think Dani Filth's a dope musician and smart dude. So, yeah. Did you know that 82% of you aren't fucking subscribed? This is... Hit the button. Why do you hate things? Have fun. Like most digital music streaming platforms, Spotify has drawn criticism for various reasons, including making it difficult for new artists to get noticed and or possibly giving preference to AI-generated music. I didn't know that, but I'm going to make a new announcement. Guys, so I'll be writing all my new music with AI. Sudden announcement. It's been great. We've had a great run being humans. Fuck it. Don't need it anymore. Yeah. Anyways, I'm looking forward to releasing a song every hour for you guys. One person who's certainly not a fan is Cradle Filth frontman Dani Filth. In fact, he thinks it's downright reprehensible. I just want to see what he says. In particular, he says that Spotify's are the biggest criminals in the world. I think we had 26 million plays last year. Okay, before I read the other thing, how much does Spotify pay around? Again, I'm using numbers. It varies. What I've seen and what I've known is for 1 million plays, you maybe get like $3 to $4 grand, which again, it could be more sometimes depending on the ads being promoted through Spotify, again, how your CPMs work and all that. So they got 26 million plays. So I want to see before he even says how much money he got from it. So they should have made at least $75,000 off those streams last year, which is still not the best. Again, you're in a band. This is your streaming income for the year. You know, 75,000 divided by what, 5? 15 grand each. And that, again, I'm not including management cut. Management takes what, 20%? Wait, let's do this properly. Okay, so here's Spotify, right? So they exist here. They're kind of hanging out. Who writes from the bottom? Can you guys just fucking follow the story here? This is educational material, right? So we got $0 per stream. So we got Cradle of Filth here. You know, Cradle of Filth. And then we'll do a little smiley. They had 25 million streams. You guys following? I swear to God, don't be wasting this. This is education right here. We're doing maths. $3,000 per mil stream. So that's the conversion right here. When you combine them here, you got $3,000 times 25, and that equals $75,000 for the year. Kind of fucking crazy. That's all they get. And now we're doing this thing, right? I'm sick of using fonts. We're gonna do this properly. Label percentage equals question mark. Let's do a 50-50. That's kind of, I mean, that exists, but let's be generous. We'll do a 50-50 deal. This is after they pay back their fucking loan. Already, 75,000 divided by 2, 375. That's how much the band as an entity makes from this. Now, management exists. And again, there's also publishing and distribution. We'll skip that for simplicity. Manager, let's say 10%. Again, being nicer. So now 3750, doing some maths here, right? 37,500 times 0.9. That takes away 10%. We're at 33,750. This is what the band fucking makes. Oh, yeah. Tax too. Oh, does the label take percentage pre-tax? Oh, I actually don't know. I feel like that's part of I feel like that's variable to deals maybe. If a label takes it pre-tax, oh, that's fucking savage, bro. Okay, tax exists. We're not the fucking government, all right? We're just gonna move past that. Anyways, per member equals $6,750 per member. How much money do you have to make a year to be in extreme poverty? They have 7 members. Oh, reverso. Why do they have 7 people? Oh, God. I'm going to round it to 5,000 just to fucking give them a little bit of pennies, man. Yeah, upfront costs. Well, I'm not including overall costs because this is just profit from streaming revenue. Does that make sense? I'm not counting in their expenses to get that profit of streaming revenue. There's obviously expenses. There's also other revenue. I'm isolating Spotify, which also, that's my point. And all members might not get a cut equally. We're going to assume that the band just does for some reason, but that's less common than you guys might think. Usually it's just 2 members that fucking do everything. So again, and we're rounding up here. What's extreme poverty line for a year? Like if there was a band and this band didn't tour, they didn't make money on merch, they literally only released songs on streaming. Each person would make $5,000 a year. 20K? Yeah, so this person's dying. They're making $5,000 a year on their streaming revenue. All right, and again, we're making assumptions, label percentage, 50-50s, manager takes 10%. And this is just streaming revenue. There might be also distribution. There's maybe publishing. Like, it can get weird, but I'm assuming the distribution and publishing is tied into the label split. So this band is going to make nothing. Let's say they don't go through a label. I'm going to use me for an example. Me not going through a label. Let's say I had 25 million streams, which hilarious. I actually, how many am I getting per month now? Which again is not a best example, but I'm just going to times it by 12. 2.5 million streams. And again, it's doing very well, but like that's not going to be consistent. So 30 million streams, actually not too far from this. So if I get 30 million fucking streams, I should make that from streaming revenue, maybe. And the thing is with me, my only cost for streaming is DistroKid. You know how much DistroKid is? And this is not a sponsored video. It really should be. Ready? I'm gonna type it in. Minus $20. I don't go through distribution. I don't fucking have manager, and I am the only member, but I do pay out. Sometimes I do splits or something with people I work with, right? Again, I don't actually make that much from streaming. Chill the fuck out. But to give you a sense of how deals and how many, members a band actually has, yeah, Spotify fucking sucks. But if you're an independent artist, again, I just fucking use my thing for a fucking example. Let's say you like these rappers or TikTokers, these people that have like 200 million fucking streams in a year. 200 million times 3,000. That's their Spotify streaming revenue. And again, maybe they're working with distribution to help them. So take away 10%. So take away times 0.9. They're making dumb money. They are bringing 200 million streams though. It's a lot, but that's, again, you can make some money. My point for this is simply to showcase Spotify could be better, but also it's just, it doesn't work the best with bands, labels, and management. Spotify actually works the best as an independent artist. Does that all make sense? It should be. I'd never complain if fucking Spotify paid people more. That's the premise of why I did all these quick maths here. It sucks absolutely for bands, especially if you have labels, management. If you're doing it yourself, you're distributing the music yourself, you're going to do okay. And again, this is not fully accurate. 3 million per streams is an average. Maybe for some people. It might be less, it might be fucking more. So this is important. Anyways, this was a big tangent to this, but I hope you guys understand the premise of Spotify and why bands complain about making no money, because they're literally dying and making no money from it, versus like independent artists actually make an okay amount. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm going to say this, and again, much respect to all of the labels I work with. I work with them, and by the way, the people that work there are beautiful human beings. Love working with them. But the label structure, the idea of structure of a label, what it does, a label is basically a general contractor. Like, sure, they might do some things in-house. They're at the site every day, They're the ones hiring trying to maybe search out for who's gonna do the mixing and stuff. They're financing. They act as the bank. They're financing your project. They're maybe hitting up who's gonna be tour managing you. They might find you a manager. Like they're very much acting as a general contractor, which is important, right? If you build a fucking house or something, you usually have a general contractor that hires the person to do the landscaping and to do the fucking plumbing and to do the electrical. Or if you're just psycho and have watched too much Homes on Homes in your day, you might fucking be the general, you might be the general contractor and just hire all the people yourself, and you still, pay people, but you're making you're making the bigger buck. That's kind of the idea of what Label more so has done. They'll help you with distribution, but also like there are resources to do it yourself, but it really depends on your band, what you want, if you need a label or not. Before you had to have one, now you don't have to have one. It's more about what works for you. I don't have a label. For me, I will never need a label. So, sorry, that was a big fucking tangent, but important to understand because this conversation comes up all the fucking time. Bands getting paid. And like when you kind of break it down, again, assuming a label takes a good cut or distribution or publishing, which most that happens, you're not left with a lot. All right. Dani Filth of Cradle Filth. I think we had 26 million plays last year. And I think personally, I got about 20 pounds. At that point, just don't even pay him, which is less than an hourly work rate. I think people just have amazing ability to believe that when you have stuff out there like physical product, that you're earning a fortune from it. They don't realize how many people take a piece of the pie. Literally, oh my God, yes, record company, management. So we got 2 of those. Accountants. Wow, do accountants work on splits for bands? I guess if you have an accountant on retainer, they'll work on a split. They earned 25 million plays last year. How did he only get $20? Well, all of this are taken into account after the band has paid back their loan to the label. So they must have just paid the label back with the royalties of streaming, and then their actual profit from the loan must have been, again, if you work backwards from 20 pounds, they did not make as much back from the over the amount they were loaned. Yeah, maybe 140 bucks, right? So that's how you hear these horror stories. And, labels aren't just always money hungry, fucking things. But how the business aspect of this works, there's a lot of layers. You have to understand of how a band can have 25 million streams and homie makes 20 fucking pounds. Could it be with a greedy label? Yeah, I mean, sure, that could be part of it. Could it be that they had a big loan that they used they had to take out extra loan because they spent more of the money for marketing or whatever the fuck? A lot of people don't talk about that because it kind of overshadows the premise of musicians get fucked and make no money, which I do not want to forget. I do not want to overshadow that. Musicians that are in normal bands, not doing YouTube-y shit, not doing fucking, just I'm a musician, I go on tour, I sell merch, and I make money from streaming, and we're signed to a label. Musicians are usually broke as fuck. Now, if you're not signed to a label, you don't have management, you release your own music, you have socials, you do all this shit. That's different. You'll be fine. I'm fine. I don't complain, right? But I see a lot of my music homies, man. You'll be surprised. I fucking feel for them because they're such talented dudes, and they are motherfucking broke. And you wouldn't expect that. Like they're fucking broke. They have no money. And it's not because they're spending money. It's just they haven't earned any money. Again, I can see how 25 million plays turn into 20 pounds. It's unfortunate, but it's how it fucking goes. Touring can make money, yes. Selling merch can make money. Streaming, I don't think makes money for a lot of bands unless they don't have a deal and they're going through their own distribution like CD Baby or fucking DistroKid. It's a hard fucking turn. So yeah, like seeing that, and then again, you have all these splits, record company, management accounts, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. And nowadays, the reason why people put limited edition vinyls and stuff is it's for collectors. They're the only people that buy it. Other people just stream it for nothing. I mean, we had M Shadows on the stream. I mean, he said music's basically free now because like the artist is not seeing that money. That's why you go and support bands and buy merch, and now the venues are taking all of the merch cuts. I feel bad for the homies in the band. I'll always go support them, Like when you see your band homie struggling, grinding, barely making sleep, living in the fucking van, tip them maybe a fucking $1 or a couple dollars. That's more than they'll get from streaming revenue at the show, right? Go buy a shirt if you want to support them. If you want to, right? That's just a fucking hard life, man.